Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm intan Anelesti. In this occasion, I would like to explain to you about my proposal, and then the title is The Influence of Using Student Team Achievement Division Technique on Students' Reading Comprehension in Recount Text at the 10th grade of MA Khairul Ummah. And my supervisor is Mr. Rizky Gushendra, SPD MED. Well, in my proposal, there are three parts that I will explain. First is about introduction, the second is literature review, and then the third is method of the research. Well, for the first introduction, background of the research. Reading is one of the 4 essential English abilities that students must master. According to M.F. Patel and Pravin M. Jain in 2008, reading is an important life activity that can update the knowledge. Based on the preliminary research, the researcher found some problems faced by the students at the 10th grade of MA Khairul Ummah. There are several factors that may be the cause of failure in teaching reading. For example, students are hard to understand because they lack of vocabulary, and their reading ability is too low. Based on the research assumption above, according to Johnson et al. In 1991, cooperative learning is one of the effective ways of improving students' understanding in reading. A STAT, or Student Team Achievement Division, is a type of cooperative learning that is oriented on the students. And then the next is about identification of the problem. First is the students get difficulties in comprehending the text. The second is the students' reading comprehension is still low. The third is the teacher does not have a new innovation technique to teach reading. And then the next is limitation of the problem. In this research, the researcher focused on the influence of using Student Team Achievement Division on students' reading comprehension in personal context at the 10th grade of MA Khairul Ummah. And then the next is formulation of the problem. In this research, the researcher formulates the problem as follows. Is there any significant influence of using Student Team Achievement Division technique on students' reading comprehension in Recount Text at the 10th grade of MA Khairul Ummah? And then the next is objective of the research. The objective of this research is to know whether there is any significance influence of using Student Team Achievement Division technique on students' reading comprehension at the 10th grade of MA Khairul Ummah. And then the next is about definition of the term. First is STAT. According to Slavin in 1995, in STAT, each group member is heterogenic. Heterogenic means that students are placed in 4 to 5 person learning groups that are diverse in terms of performance level, gender, and ethnicity. And then the second is reading comprehension. According to Mikoleki Beatrice S. and Linda Jeffries in 2007, comprehending what you read is more than just recognizing and understanding words. True comprehension means making sense of what you read and connecting the ideas in the text to what you already know. It also means remembering what you have read. In other words, comprehending means thinking while you read. And then the third is about recount text. According to Anderson and Anderson in 1997, a recount is a piece of writing that retells past events in chronological order. Its goal is to give to the audience a detailed account of what happened and when it happened. It means recount text is a text that retells prior events or experience. And then the next is operational concept. In operational concept, in my proposal, there are 2 variables. And then the variable is STAT and reading comprehension. So the operational concept first about STAT, according to Slavin in Anita Putri 2014, the indicators of STAT are A. Materials. The materials should be prepared by the teachers that they will present in the classroom, whether based on the textbook or the teacher's made materials. And then B. Assigning students to teams. The teams in STAT should be shared heterogeneously. Means that all groups represent all students either from academic achievement or low academic abilities. And then C. Determining initial base score. Beginning scores represent students' average score from their past quiz. Otherwise, teachers use students' final grades from the previous year. Then the team building. Try to start the program by using any practice or create something for the team just to make each member of team having fun and getting know one another. And then the second is reading comprehension. Reading comprehension according to Rupley in 2005, in Masito Nasution in 2019. The indicator of reading comprehension are A. Students are able to recalling word meanings or vocabulary knowledge. B. Students are able to drawing inference from content. C. Students are able to remember detail that is directly expressed or memorized by its own words. And then D. Students are able to understanding of grammatical clue subject, verb, pronouns, conjunction, and others. E. Students are able to knowledge of sequence of information presented in passage. And then the next is about research design. In this study, researcher will use quantitative research method. Especially in this study, will use pre-experimental research design. The research design used in this study is one group pretest post-test design. In this design, before treatment is given, the first sample given a pretest or early test, and at the end of the sample learning is post-test or final test. And then the next about time and location. This research will be conducted at MA Khairul Ummah. It is located on Batu Gajah Air Mole, Indragiri Hulu. And then the next is about subject and object. The subject of this research is the 10th grade students of MA Khairul Ummah. And then the object of this research is the influence of using student team achievement division technique on students' reading comprehension in Recount text. And the next, population and sample. Population. The population of this research was 141 10th grade students of MA Khairul Ummah. And then the sample of the research is 25 students. In this research, the researcher chose technique random sampling to take a sample by the lottery method. The population will given a number and then the number will choose randomly. The randomly selected number will become the experimental group. And then the next is about technique of data collection. In this research, the researcher used tests for collecting the data. The reading comprehension test is given to the students to know their ability in reading comprehension. The test is divided in two types, namely pre-test and post-test. The pre-test is test given before treatment, and then the second test is post-test, is the final test after experiment. And then the last is technique of data analysis. The quantitative data, there are reading tests, and the researcher will examine by using multiple choice. It is determined that the ranking from 0 to 100 by accounting the correct answer by applying this formula. S equals R per N dikali 100, where S is score of the test, and then R is the number of correct answer, and then N the number of question. Well, that's all my explanation about my proposal. Sorry for my mistake. And then I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.